Hey, good morning. As we get ready to begin today, let me just get to today's unit. There we go. We are going to look at standard form. So if you were in class, we're going to review the practice from yesterday. If not, and you have questions, okay, you can come into class first thing on Thursday. Remind me, and I will go through the practice again from Tuesday. Okay, so today we're going to look at standard form. This is not new. We looked at it last unit as well. It is ax plus by equals c, so that should be familiar with you. And the rules for standard form is that a, b, and c are integers. So basically those coefficients all need to be integers, aka they cannot be decimals or fractions. Okay. And also a, remember we said last unit a needs to be positive. So a can't be negative. Has to be positive. Okay. So what we're going to look at today is just basically writing equations, but we're going to convert some from different forms into slope-intercept or whatever. So for this first one, it says in the left column, convert the equation into standard form. In the right column, you convert it back to make sure you did it correctly. Okay, so notice how this is in slope-intercept form. For standard form, we want x and y to be on the same side of the equal sign. Okay, so let's draw a line down between, and we're going to add 3x. Add 3x gives you 3x plus y equals 4. Okay, so x is positive, x and y are on the same side, and all the integers are whole numbers. So this is done. That would be our answer. That is standard form. Okay, but we want to be able to check it by putting it back in a slope-intercept form. So 3x plus y that we just got equals 4. Okay, how do we get it back to slope-intercept form? We change it back to y equals mx plus b. Well, to do that, you just subtract 3x. Okay, so y equals negative 3x plus 4. So is our final answer, when we convert it backwards, the same as what we started with? Yes, it is. So this is good. Okay, so the second one, it says how to remove a negative. So we have x and y on different sides. Okay, so if we subtract 5x, put x and y on the same side, I have negative 5x plus y equals negative 5. Okay, so x and y are on the same side. They're all integers, but x is negative, right? So in order to remove that, you can just divide everything by negative 1, or multiply, either way. And that gives you a positive 5x, a negative y, and a positive 5. Okay? All right, so let's go ahead and check it. Put it back in the slope-intercept form. 5x minus y equals 5 is what we just got. Okay, I'm going to add y to get it to the other side. So I have 5x equals y plus 5. Okay, and I'm going to subtract 5. So I have 5x minus 5 equals y, which is exactly what we had up here. 5x minus 5 equals y. Okay, so it's just, this is a check. You don't have to do this all the time. This is what matters, like you're converting it from slope-intercept into standard, but we do want to be able to check our work, and so this is the work check. All right, removing a fraction. So anytime you see a fraction, you can remove it right off the bat, right? Or you can wait until the end. So let's go ahead and take x and put it on the other side here. So we have this negative 1/2 x plus y equals 7. Okay, well now I want to get rid of this fraction, but notice that x is also negative, and I want it to be positive. So in order to get rid of the fraction, you're going to multiply everything by the least common denominator, in this case by 2, okay, because that's what's on the bottom. But since x is negative, I also want to multiply everything by a negative to get rid of that negative in front of x. So when you multiply it, 1/2 times negative 2. Negative 1/2 times negative 2 just gives me a positive 1. Okay, negative 2 times y gives me negative 2y. And negative 2 times 7, gives me negative 14. So again, you're just distributing the 2 to all the coefficients. All right, so now x and y are on the same side. X is positive, and they're all whole numbers. That would be our answer. Okay, and our check work. Okay, let's get y to the other side. Put it back in the slope-intercept form. Make sure it looks the same as what we started with. Okay, add 14 to get y by itself. All right, and divide by 2. So 1/2 x plus 7 equals y. 1/2 x plus 7 equals y. Right? Cool. All right, so a couple more examples here. It says write the following linear equations in standard form. Excuse me, let me get a drink here. By first writing in slope-intercept or point-slope form, whichever is easiest. Okay, so this first one gives you a slope and it passes through a point. So we're going to use point-slope form, which is y minus y1 equals m times x minus x1. It's just the easiest one to do right there. All right, so our slope is 5 and the point is 6, negative 2. So y plus 2 equals the slope times x minus 6. Okay, because remember this is x1, y1. All right, so that's point-slope form. Excuse me, there we go. But it wants it in standard form. So how do we convert to standard form? It's a great question. Glad you asked. We are going to first distribute and basically solve the right side. So y plus 2 equals 5x minus 30. All right, so now we just treat it like a regular equation. We want to get x and y on the same side, so I'm going to get this y and move it over, and I'm going to get rid of this 30 and take it over here. So let's do that first. So y plus 32 equals 5x. Okay, now we want to get y on the same side as x. So 32 equals 5x minus y. Done. Okay, and again, that's done because x and y are now on the same side. X is positive, and they're all whole numbers. Okay? All right, let's try the next one. It says a slope of 2/3 and a y-intercept of 8. So y-intercept of 8 means this is 0, 8. Slope of 2/3, so let's just put it in slope-intercept form. Y equals 2/3 x plus 8. Okay, because that's the b. This is the b, this is the m. All right, let's convert it over to standard. So subtract 2/3 x minus 2/3 x. Okay, negative 2/3 x plus y equals 8. Okay, now we need to get rid of the fraction. So we're going to multiply. It's a negative x, so we want to get rid of that negative as well. So we're going to multiply it by the least common denominator, which is negative 3. Okay, so when I multiply that through, it gives me negative 24. Multiply it through, gives me negative 3y. Multiply it through, negative 3 times negative 2 gives me positive 6. Positive 6 divided by 3 gives me 2. Okay, done. All right, so as you can see, there's no easy way, no matter what the scenario is, okay, there's no easy way just to put it straight into standard form. You have to put it in a point slope or slope intercept first and then convert it over to standard form, okay? So whatever's easiest. All right, a line passes through the points 7, negative 2, and 5, 6. Well, this is like we did yesterday. Okay, you got to find the slope first. So y2 minus y1 over x2 minus x1. Okay, so this would actually turn into a positive. So it would be 8 over negative 2, which is the equivalent of negative 4. So we use point slope here. Doesn't matter which point you use. So if I use this first one, it's going to be y plus 2 because it's a negative 2 equals negative 4, which is the slope, and then x minus 7. Okay, so that's point slope, but we want to remember we want to convert this into standard. So let's go ahead and distribute. So it gives me negative 4x, negative 8 and negative 7 gives me a positive 28. Okay, x is negative on this side, so let's take it over here so we don't have to work with that negative. And again, none of these are like terms, so I'm just going to list them out. So I have 4x plus y plus 2 equals 28. Okay, now I'm going to subtract 2 from both sides. 4x plus y equals 26. Okay, x and y are both positive, x is positive, they're all integers, and x and y are on the same side. So that's how we know we're done. Okay, All right, so you do have an exit ticket here. Now pay attention very closely. It says convert the linear equation from the left column into standard form, and then you may use Desmos to check your answers, and then you want to put it back into slope-intercept. So remember that slope-intercept is y equals mx plus b. All right, so once you convert it, then you want your answer down here and your original to look the same. Okay, so try out that exit ticket. And convert it into standard form, and then submit it into Canvas, and let me know if you have any questions.